Hi everybody, today we're going to use a new multiplication strategy called multiplying using place value. I think you're going to find that this strategy is very similar to the breaking apart strategy that we used yesterday, only this time you're not going to draw pictures or use arrays. You're simply going to make some new equations. Okay, so if I see this equation 86 times 8, I have lots of choices here, but I want to use using place value to break it apart. If I look at this number 86, I can break it apart into its place value parts. The 6 is in the ones place, meaning there's 6. The 8 is in the tens place. 10 groups of 8 is equal to 80. 80 and 6 is equal to 86. I'm just breaking this apart to make it easier for me. The next step that I'm going to do is take each of my smaller parts and multiply it by the other factor in my equation. So I'm going to do 80 times 8, and I'm going to do 6 times 8. All I've done is broken the bigger number apart into smaller, more manageable pieces. Okay, I notice that I'm multiplying by a multiple of 10, so I'm going to add that 0 to the end and then just do 8 times 8, which is equal to 64. I have 64 groups of 10, which is equal to 640. Then I know that 6 times 8 is 48. That's a basic fact that I should have remembered. Now, all I need to do is add up my two smaller products right here. I have a part of the big product and a part of the big product here. So I have something that's called partial products. Add up the partial products until you get the answer. Okay, the next example that we have here is 64 times 11. You may be tempted, or you may think about breaking both of these factors apart because they have two digits, but it's really not necessary because 11 is a basic fact I should have. I'm just going to simply break this 64 up into its place value parts. I have four ones, in 6 groups of 10. 6 groups of 10 is equal to 60. 60 plus 4 is equal to 64. Now I simply come over here and do my smaller equations, my more friendly, manageable equations that include basic facts. Here again, I am multiplying by a multiple of 10. 60 is a multiple of 10. It's a number I say when I'm skip counting by tens, so I can put a 0 at the end. Now I just have the basic fact of 11 times 6. 11 times 6 is 66. I have 66 groups of 10, which is equal to 660. Now I do 4 times 11, which is equal to 44. This is a partial product, and this is a partial product. I have parts of the whole product. I now just need to add those partial products together to give me the whole product of 704. So my answer here is 704. See if you can follow the steps on the next one. This time I have 16 times 7. I'm not going to worry about breaking 7 apart because that is a basic fact I should have. I can break 16 apart into its place value parts. Or I can break it apart in other ways. How many ways can you think of to break 16 apart? Well, I can do 6 ones and one group of 10. I could also break 16 apart into 8s, 8 and 8. Then it's just a matter of me thinking, am I more comfortable multiplying 10 times 7 and 6 times 7, or 8 times 7 2 times? Well, I feel very comfortable with my tens facts, so I'm going to use this combination to help me find my partial products to find my final answer. So now I do 10 times 7 and 6 times 7, 10 times 7 and 6 times 7. I've really still done 16 groups of 7. 10 groups of 7, I'm multiplying by a multiple of 10, so I'm going to tack my 0 on the end and then do 7 times 1, which is 70. 6 times 7 is a basic fact I should know, 42. This is a partial product. This is a partial product. I need to add up the parts to get the whole answer. The whole product of 16 times 7 is 112. Good job. Okay. The last one we're going to do is 132 times 5. Okay. Up to this point, we have broken apart just 2-digit numbers, but you can still do this here. I have a 2 in the ones place, a 3 in the tens place, which is really like 30, and a 1 in the hundreds place, which is like 100. Now I need to multiply each of these factors by 5. I'm going to start here. 2 times 5 is equal to 10. I need to be careful to make sure that I'm lining up my place value as I get ready to add up my partial products. 30 times 5. 30 is a multiple of 10, so I add the 0 on the end, and then I do 5 times 3, which is 15. Am I doing a great job of lining up my place values? No, I'm not. So I'm going to think about making a more organized list when I'm finished getting the partial products. Now I do 100 times 5. 100 is a multiple of 10, so I'm going to add the 2 zeros I see at the end, then do 5 times 1. 500s, 5 groups of 100 is 500. Now I don't feel super comfortable with the way I've lined up my places, so I'm going to take just about 5 more seconds to line them up and make sure that I'm setting myself up for success. Because it's a big shame to do all this work and then mess up on the easiest part, which is adding up all of the partial products. And all of my partial products add up to a final product of 660. Okay, it's your turn to show what you know. Think of a problem that you could do.